Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Keslar. I'm here today from Cheers for Charity, and I'm joined here by JoAnn Burchuk.
Hi, JoAnn Burchuk, Lighthouse Physical Therapy, and of course with Lisa Keslar from Keslar Insurance. And we are super excited to talk to Jennie from my breast cancer support group today. So looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Jennie?
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Jennie Halstead. I'm the executive director of my breast cancer support. And we're a local nonprofit based in Portsmouth that our mission is to provide financial and emotional support to local breast cancer patients throughout the seacoast of New Hampshire and Southern Maine on their individual paths towards wellness. So we partner with 8 area cancer centers in New Hampshire and Southern Maine. And we connect and hopefully our goal is to create community around breast cancer people and families and women who are in breast cancer treatment. So we help women while they're in active treatment. Yeah, so we really we've been around for 15 years. We were started in 2005 by a local breast cancer survivor, Wendy McCool, and started off as a story sharing website that was went globally actually, and women could share their stories and connect with people who had the same type of cancer or were having the same treatment plan. And then in about 2012, our board decided to kind of refocus our mission and really kind of pose the question to themselves that there's women right in our neighborhoods who need help, who need financial support while they're going through treatment. And there's this awful financial toxicity with not only breast cancer, but all cancers that saps away not only emotional, but financial resources from people. So our goal is to help people through that journey and let them know, most importantly, that they're not alone during that time. So that's our goal, is really to connect with women throughout the seacoast and Southern Maine.
Oh, that's fantastic. And how many women are you generally working with, and how do people get in contact with you?
Yeah, since 2012, we've helped about 5,000 women throughout, and not just women, men, families really. And so we are, as I said, we partner with the 8 area cancer centers, and our main point of contact is the breast nurse navigator and the social workers at each of the cancer centers. So when someone's diagnosed, the first thing we do is we give them a gift bag. And that's really scary time where you're just been diagnosed, you're bombarded with all of this information. And so we put together a bag with a scarf, a journal, a relaxation CD, and a water bottle. And it's just really purely a gift. It's not based on financial need. We just want everybody to know the resources that are out there while they're going through this journey, so that they know that, again, so they know they're not alone while they're going through this. You know, and sometimes many women are, you know, they're working and they're fine, they're in treatment, and then all of a sudden it just hits them and they can't work, or they're because they're too sick to work, or they just can't manage everything that's going on in their lives, and so they get this financial impact that they never expected. So we have financial grants that we can give to women for pretty much anything. Gas, groceries, rent, utilities, car repairs, absolutely really anything except for medical bills. We don't give any patients cash. It's all, so if someone calls us and says, you know what, they need help with the utility bill, we write the check out directly to Eversource and send it to them, and then they send it to the utility company. So it's really meeting their basic needs at a very kind of fundamental level. We also have hope chests at each of the cancer centers that have gift cards, like grocery cards, gas cards, Walmart cards, restaurant gift certificates that can be given out by the nurse navigators should somebody just kind of in the moment they need help. They don't need a financial grant of $1,000 necessarily at that point, but they don't have gas in their car to get to treatment, or they don't have money to get food for their family that night. So that's kind of at their discretion. We also pay for breast cancer retreats. We partner with Betty J. Borey, which is a breast cancer retreat or nonprofit in Durham. We also partner with Ambulé, is one of the partners we partner with. We're a community funder of theirs. And also with Satya, well, used to be Satya, Yoga in Action. They give free yoga classes to cancer patients, not just breast cancer patients. So again, our goal is to really just put our arms around the cancer community and say, here, take our hand. If along the way you need us, we're here, whether it's just to call and chat and just blow off some steam with someone who is like-minded or gone through a similar experience, or whether you really need some more practical help. We're there for that too. So that's our ultimate goal.
Wow, that is fantastic. What a amazing support for these women that you provide. And I assume it's just for women.
It's really families. We have helped a few men along the way as well. Many times, you know, typically with a man, there's a genetic component to the breast cancer, but it's rare. So typically is women that we're working with. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask Jenny, which are the 8 centers?
Okay, you're gonna test me now. Okay, so Southern Maine Healthcare, New England Cancer Specialists in Kennebunk, Frisbee Hospital, Wentworth Douglas Hospital, Exeter, York, Portsmouth Hospital. So those are the centers. So really all the centers in the area where someone might get treated. We also will help, many times people are diagnosed maybe by their local doctor, but then choose to go to Boston, like Dana-Farber, or one of the other hospitals, MGH. And so we will also help them too. So it's not exclusively people who are being treated at those centers. It's just that part of it kind of pre-qualifies them that they have a financial need for our service. So it's a really simple application. Literally somebody could fill it out in 5 minutes, and then we could get their bills paid by that afternoon. Like we need something that's really nimble, and we can turn that that need around into a met need by the afternoon, basically. So yeah. So yes.
And as far as your funding, are you primarily funded through donations, or do you also receive any sort of state funding or federal funding for your programs?
Yeah, we're really a grassroots organization. Our staff is, there's me, and I work full time, and then I have a part-time person who works alongside me, and we have a really strong board. We don't get any state or federal funding. So our funding is primarily through events that we hold, events that people do for us, and grants and foundations that we apply for funding. A lot of local businesses do fundraisers for us in the month of October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But we have two signature events that we do, and then another event that was kind of become a signature event, which is our fashion show. Of course, this year, we've already had to reschedule our fashion show. That was going to happen in April, and so we've rescheduled that to October. So, and then we have a Evening by the Sea Gala at the Wentworth Country Club in the summer, and then our big signature event is our 5K. It's our 12th year of doing our Celebrate Pink 5K in Portsmouth. And of course, this year, all those things are on the table in terms of what will happen with them. So, it is a bit just like a lot of nonprofits right now. It's a little bit, there's uncertainty around what's the funding landscape's going to look like. We do rely on support from individual donors as well as corporate sponsorship. So we're looking for other avenues of funding. We do have a good, financially, we're in a good position for now, but we're anticipating, given that many centers are being, they're not screening as many people as they were, that long term, there'll just be more people who are diagnosed at a later stage of their cancers. And so that will, and for us, that will just mean there'll be a greater demand for our grants long term. And so we're just working to raise as much funds as we can through different means.
Are you seeing? Oh, I'm sorry, Jenny. Just curious. Are you seeing any changes in needs because of what's going on economically? Is it impacting your constituents differently than prior to this? We've seen a little bit of a drop in our grant applications and again, we believe, and as an industry, I think we believe that that's temporary. As I said, the cancer centers are reopening
to more extensively, I believe, starting next week. Up to now, many appointments have either been rescheduled or they're telehealth appointments. So less one-on-one appointments, which, you know, given the circumstances, makes sense. So short term, you know, to answer your question, is we've had kind of a less need over the last month. But I think as things turn around and get more back to normal, we're going to just, it's just going to be that connection is going to be reestablished in terms of people's needs. And as, you know, people go back to work, or they don't go back to work, or the, you know, employment landscape changes again, people can be impacted at any point. You know, this week they're fine, and then all of a sudden they're not. They're laid off on Friday, kind of thing. So, yeah, so I think it's worrying. It's worrying from many perspectives. As a human being, you know, at the screening part, it's just like, ah! Well, it feels like all the things we've taught people along the way, always get your screenings every 6 months. It's just those of like, okay, well, we need to put that aside, and we need to, you know, it's this like most things, there's multiple layers to in the impact of that long term, and it's so many are unknown at this point. So, yeah.
Fascinating. Well, as a recipient of one of your bags a week ago, on Friday.
Oh, good.
My first bag, and it was fantastic, and it was comforting to go through, and it was kind of nice, actually. It took a little stress out of the moment of thinking about what was going on by going through like, oh, a gift, you know, and you went through and stuff, and interesting and helpful and informative. So we appreciate that. I personally appreciate the effort that you.
Oh, good. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you were able to get that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So for those people who will be, you know, heading down this road or already are diagnosed but may not be aware of you, what's the best way for them to learn more about your organization and to either volunteer or to donate or to be potentially a person that you support? What's the best way for them to get connected?
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, sadly, you know, everybody knows at least one person who's gone through breast cancer. You know, I'm a 10-year survivor myself. So unfortunately, that's just a startling statistic that we live with every day. So our website is certainly the first point of contact that we could learn more about what we do, what our programs look like, how we support people, how people can help. We also have a Facebook page. And then if you're a patient, you know, if you've been diagnosed and you live in the Seacoast or Southern Maine area, we have something called the Thrivers Tribe, which is a closed group of women who are survivors and thrivers, I should say more. And that's a place for women to connect online. They can post questions about, oh, geez, you know, I'm going through this and it's been 5 years and what does that mean? And, you know, and so it's a way for women to feel, you know, people can soothe them and calm their nerves. I think you're in that group, Lisa. And just, you know, like, for example, without breaking too much confidentiality or any confidentiality, there was someone who posted last week who had gotten re-diagnosed, and there was just a flood of comments like, we're here for you, and we know what that feels like, and you're going to be okay, and please reach out, private message me. And, you know, I'm actually getting tingly even describing it, I have to say. You know, it's just like that, and I call it, and this might sound cliche, but the person in the basement theory, that, you know, you might be home alone, but if someone's in the basement, not in like a weird, creepy way, just like they're down there, but then you may never see them, but you just know somebody's there. If you do want to just like, oh, maybe I'll just walk down and, you know, see them. It feels like that. Like there's a different conversation between people who have gone through cancer and have faced that diagnosis than people who are really trying to be, you know, are there for you and are being supportive, but it's just a different conversation that we hope to provide that environment in the Thrivers Tribe. So that's a great way to get connected with us. And then of course, you know, by phone, obviously we're always at the end of the phone, or email as well. All that information is with our phone number, and email information is on our website. So yeah. So yes.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, Jenny, this has really been a great overview of my breast cancer support. You guys do really amazing work.
Oh, there's so many nonprofits in the area that I mean, every time I hear another one, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so, you know. So we try to connect with other nonprofits and create synergies where we can, and just try to be really good at what we do, which is hopefully helping creating community around breast cancer. So that's really our goal.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining. It was really such a
Thank
pleasure to
you.
hear about your organization.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys taking out the time to do this and letting more people know about us. We're super excited about it.
Well, we're excited to have you here and excited to continue to hear your stories as we all go forward. Thank you so much for being here.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.